Welcome to Psychology at Work. I'm Dr. Paul Brewerton, otherwise known as the Strengths Guy. As a doctor of psychology and the founder and chair of Strengthscope, I'm here to share my insights with you. Tune in for a regular dose of positive, strengths-based content. My podcasts are packed full of tips and tools designed to enhance your world of work. Ready to dive into the good stuff in this episode? Then let's go. I am super excited for today's episode. This is the second of a two-parter on our latest research report into team effectiveness in the workplace. Last time I focused mainly on leaders and their strengths and skills. This time I'm focusing on teams. Regarding our report, please do ask our team for a copy, or you can pick one up from the Strengthscope website. It is a downloadable resource. Our research is based on data from just under 1,600 team members collected using Strengthscope Team, as well as just under 1,300 leaders collected using Strengthscope Leader. And the data we gathered was done in 2024, so it is pretty fresh. First of all, a word on Strengthscope Team and the data it's collecting. So two main things are collected using Strengthscope Team. The first is the collective strengths of individual teams, that is the 24 strengths that we have in our model of what energizes the most and least. And what the team wheel shows is which the strengths are that show up most and least often in team members' significant 7. Also where risk areas may be in terms of drainers and strengths which have the potential to dip into overdrive. The second thing that Strengthscope Team assesses is the team behaviors or habits that team members report being more or less in evidence. And these team behaviors, which are actually learnable team skills, include 5 elements. The first is clarity. That's ensuring the team has a clear set of aspirations, which give the team clarity on goals, roles, responsibilities. The second area is trust, awareness of where the team's strengths and risks lie, and sharing that information can help to build trust. The third area is around accountability. So taking action to draw on each other's strengths and drive towards team goals, holding each other to account on that. The fourth area is change readiness, so developing the agility needed to deal positively and proactively with change. And then finally, the fifth area is stretch. So we define that as celebrating the team's achievements, as well as regularly reviewing where the team can improve, and that then leading to continuous improvement. Now, this model of team behaviors or skills is drawn from some of the greatest researchers and practitioners in team effectiveness ever. Katzenbach and Smith, Belbin, Tuckman, Whelan, Lencioni. And our model follows a developmental process from clarity through to continuous improvement and stretch. So what I'm going to include in today's episode is what are teams best at in terms of those team behaviors or skills, and where are they lacking the most. And then I want to finish off with which team behaviors are actually most closely linked to overall team effectiveness. I'm also going to give you the so what can I do about this recommendations to make the information practically useful. So first of all, what are teams best at according to our data? Well, trust habits, those relating to the area of trust, are ranked the highest. Across all teams in the database, the 2 highest rated team behaviors relate to that trust area. Team members feel most able to share their ideas and views openly and honestly at team meetings, and they can rely on each other for help and support to get the job done. So those are the top 2 ranked team behaviors across our database. The third highest rated habit or behavior is in the area of accountability. And it relates to team members being strongly committed to achieving the highest standards by taking full ownership of their actions and results. So overall, the results suggest that team members feel positively towards their colleagues, and they feel their colleagues are well-intentioned, trustworthy, and committed to doing a good job. So the reason this is important is that trust provides the strongest foundation for individual and team accountability and action. Without trust, teams are unlikely to become high performing in any sort of sustainable way. So based on the data, based on these findings, my recommendations are to double down by encouraging teams to build those trusting relationships by deepening their understanding of each other's skills, strengths, and risk areas. So asking, how do the strengths show up for you? When do colleagues most enjoy using their strengths? Which tasks do they feel most naturally drawn to and effective at? And then encourage team members to draw on each other's strengths to partner and team effectively using complementary strengths. The more that a team gets practical experience of doing that, the more they will come to rely on and trust their colleagues to deliver a good outcome. So there you have the top ranked strengths. Now, where do teams need to improve? This is the second area to look at. In short, teams are struggling with feedback. So across all teams in the database, the lowest rated team behaviors relate to the area of stretch and specifically to feedback. Team members rate their teams as less effective in providing each other with constructive feedback to ensure the team's overall performance is improved. They're also less effective at seeking feedback from customers and stakeholders. Arguably, even the third lowest rated habit also relates to feedback. This is from the area of accountability, as team members report that colleagues are less likely to be called to account when work is not delivered or standards are not met, which is lacking feedback from colleagues or lacking feedback from the line manager or from external third parties. Now, the recommendations here are, to be honest, fairly self-evident. Work is needed in most teams to improve the proactive gathering and delivery of feedback from team member to team member, from team leader to direct reports, and from stakeholders to the team. This is going to mean working to create a feedback culture that can provide psychological safety and also skill-based training on how to provide feedback well. We know that people at work, teams, leaders, everybody can find it really difficult to deliver what is seen as tough messages. Actually, this is about delivering clear messages in a way that is fair, reasonable, brief, and to the point. Actually, it may be worth you looking back for the Radical Candor podcast that I recorded not so long ago, because there are some good pointers in there. Okay, the third area I want to cover is around the most significant predictors of overall team effectiveness. So we've covered the lowest and highest rated team behaviors with some recommendations for action. But what about when we look for the strongest relationships between individual team behaviors and skills and overall team effectiveness? Well, three areas stand out as being particularly important for team members in order to report high team effectiveness. And these should form a focus for building stronger and more effective teams. These are the three. First, the team is clear on each member's role and expected contribution to team goals. Second, the team purpose is clear, meaningful, and understood by all team members. And third, the team has clear measurable goals and implementation plans to achieve its purpose. Now, all three of these team behaviors come from the first area, clarity, and they provide a clear framework for any team wishing to achieve high and sustainable levels of performance. So the data is telling us that the most effective teams have worked to ensure they have a clear purpose, clear goals, and a plan to achieve those outcomes. And also that each member of the team is clear on how each of their colleagues and themselves are contributing to achieving team objectives. Now, almost all researchers, commentators, practitioners on team effectiveness agree that these principles are the cornerstones that need to be in place for a team to maintain high levels of effectiveness. But it is often the case that teams have either not completed the work sufficiently well for all team members to have developed that clear, shared understanding of the rules of engagement for the team, or that they've not revisited these questions when the team's context or people has shifted, leading the team to question their purpose, the value of their contribution to organizational success, and maybe even their own personal role and responsibilities in delivering that. So I recommend all teams keep their purpose, goals, plan, and individual roles and responsibilities under review, making changes as needed depending on context. And with context in mind, that should be probably on 6 or 12 monthly cycles, restating the questions on what the team is doing, why, and who is doing what, as well as running through a lessons learned process so the team can keep improving over time. Okay, that's it. A snapshot of building team effectiveness from our latest research report. This is downloadable from the Strengthscope website. It is looking like it will become our most downloaded resource ever. So grab it while it's hot. And please look out for more of our research in the months ahead. There's a lot of useful data coming through as we continue our journey with Strengthscope. We will be sure to share all of that as soon as it becomes available. Till next time, stay strong.